Welcome to Story by Olivia. Today I am going to tell you the movie story called Malena. In the beginning of this story, we are shown a small town called Sicily, and this is the time of the 10th of June 1940, the time of World War II. There is a bustling atmosphere all around. At that moment, we are shown some government officers who make an announcement that everyone should listen to their radios at 5 p.m. tonight. The government will declare war against France and the UK on the radio at 5 p.m. tonight. In the same city, there is a boy named Renato. Renato shows his friends his bicycle, and suddenly his friends tell him to sit down as Malena is coming. And then, we are shown a beautiful girl coming towards them. Her name is Malena, and she is the most beautiful girl in this city. Renato falls in love with Malena at first sight. Malena is married, and her husband is away at war. Malena's father is a teacher, and Renato and his friends study in the same class. Renato constantly thinks about Malena now. One day, instead of going to school, he stands in front of Malena's house. Malena comes out of the house looking very beautiful. And then, Malena calls Renato and asks him if he can bring her some items. Instead of giving him money, she throws it down. And when Renato picks up the money, he wakes up from his sleep. In fact, it was just a dream for him. Renato wants to appear older like Malena. That is, he wants to make himself her equal. That's why he takes his father's pants and goes to the tailor's shop and asks him to alter the pants to his size, because now he wants to wear full pants like adults, so that he can impress Malena and look younger in her eyes. But when Renato returns home, his father beats him severely because he has found out that Renato had his pants altered and got his own pants made. But Renato doesn't care about this because he has fallen in love with Malena. So, at night when everyone is asleep, he goes outside Malena's house. He makes a hole in his wall and watches Malena inside dancing to music while holding a photo of her husband. The next day, he goes to a music shop and buys the same cassette that was playing while Malena was dancing. At night, he listens to the music carefully, getting lost in thoughts of Malena. The next morning, he starts following Malena. He notices that many people in the town are also watching her and following her because everyone likes Malena. However, the other women in the town do not like her at all. Renato becomes very angry at their thoughts, but he can't say anything because he is still very young. Renato goes to Malena's father's house where Malena is currently staying. She is in her room crying, and Renato approaches her and says, "Don't worry, I will always be with you. I will always protect you. Just let me grow up once." In reality, all of this is Renato's imagination, as he is thinking about all of this in his mind. He has never actually met Malena. Afterward, he goes to the church and prays to God, asking him to protect Malena from the people of the town. He promises to come there every day and light a candle for her. In reality, Renato is deeply concerned about Malena. Then, he goes to Malena's house again, where she leaves her clothes outside to dry and enters the house feeling sad and troubled. After Malena leaves, Renato steals her clothes and runs away. Actually, he steals them because he's thinking her so much, and taking her clothes home reminds him of her. However, in the morning when Renato's father enters his room and sees the girl's clothes, he becomes very angry. He beats Renato severely and locks him in the room. For the next 3 days, Renato is not given any food or water, and his health deteriorates significantly. After that, a doctor is called to the house. The doctor examines Renato and advises that he simply needs fresh air. Following the doctor's recommendation, Renato is allowed to go outside the house, and a few days pass. One day, while Renato is at school, Malena's father receives a letter. The letter states that his daughter Malena is involved with many other people and is of questionable character. Upon hearing this, Malena's father becomes very upset and, in order to avoid disgrace, cuts off all ties with Malena. That same night, Renato goes to Malena's house once again and secretly observes where Malena is with the city's lieutenant. In reality, Malena and the lieutenant are now having an affair and spending time together. When the lieutenant leaves Malena's house, the city's dentist arrives there. He tells the lieutenant that he dares to be with Malena, who is his crush, and an argument ensues between the two. Just then, the dentist's wife arrives with the police. And now Malena has gained a lot of infamy in the city. The next day, everyone in the city is talking about Malena, saying that she is involved with married people. A case is filed against Malena, and she goes to a lawyer to fight her case. The lawyer successfully wins Malena's case, but the lieutenant is transferred somewhere else, meaning Malena and the lieutenant are separated. That same night, the lawyer who won Malena's case goes to her house and tells her that he doesn't want any money from her. In reality, Malena doesn't even have that much money, and now the lawyer starts taking advantage of her vulnerability. He takes Malena inside the room, and Renato, who is watching everything from outside, is unable to help her. The lawyer starts coming to Malena's house every day. However, one day, the lawyer's mother finds out, and she severely beats him with a stick. After that, the lawyer never comes to Malena's house again. This makes Renato happy. Renato prays to God to save Malena from the lawyer's clutches, and Malena is now free from the grip of that lawyer. A few days pass, and one day a lot of bombs fall on their city. Hitler's German army has attacked their city. In this attack, Malena's father dies. Malena is now completely alone in this world. Her husband is dead, whom she loved dearly, and now her father is no longer alive. She has no money, and no one in the city gives her any kind of work. At night, she cuts her hair and colors it, meaning she will sell her body to earn money because she has no other way. The next day, Malena sits outside a cafe in her new appearance. Everyone around her becomes happy upon seeing her because they understand what she is doing now. They all wanted this because now they can take benefit from Malena's with money. Seeing this, only one person is unhappy in the whole city, and that person is Renato. A few more days pass, and the German army completely takes over the city, and one day Malena leaves with her friend and German officers, which deeply saddens Renato. He becomes unconscious right there. Renato's mother believes that he is under the influence of evil spirits, so she takes him to the priest in the church who performs exorcism on him. But Renato's father understands what has happened to him, so the next day he takes him to a place where a beautiful girl is present, and Renato visualizes her as Malena. After that, he recovers completely. Some more time passes, and now the American army has arrived there. The German army leaves, meaning the war is completely over. After the war ends, all the women in the city despise Malena. They take her inside a hotel and brutally assault her by cutting her hair and blackening her face. Renato witnesses all of this but is unable to help Malena. Eventually, Malena has to leave the city. Renato keeps watching her as she goes, feeling immense sorrow but unable to stop her. Several months pass, and it is now revealed that Malena's husband, who was believed to have been killed in the war, is actually alive. He was a prisoner of war and lost one of his hands. He has returned to the city to find his wife, Malena. However, he cannot find her anywhere. Moreover, the people of the city tell him twisted and false stories about Malena and how she earned money by engaging in illicit activities. This news deeply saddens her husband. Renato also witnesses all of this, as the truth about how the people mistreated Malena is not revealed. Due to the circumstances, she was forced to choose the wrong path. Renato wants to tell her husband everything, so one night, when her husband is asleep, he writes a letter explaining everything and leaves it for him before leaving the place. Now, when Malena's husband reads the letter, Renato had written that Malena loves you very much and she was always faithful to you. But when the news of your death came, the people of the city subjected her to severe abuse. Due to circumstances, she was forced to choose the wrong path and had to leave the city forever, going to Messina City. After knowing the entire truth, Malena's husband also sets off for Messina. Exactly 1 year later, it is shown that Malena's husband has returned to the same city with Malena. The whole city is astonished to see Malena with her husband. Renato is also in the crowd, watching all this. He feels immense happiness upon seeing her, but now he is with a girl of his age whom he is dating. The next morning, it is shown that Malena comes to the city for shopping, and now everyone looks at her with respect in their eyes because she is with her husband. All the women in the city who had once harmed Malena and thought she was a danger to their husbands now look at her with admiration. They greet her with a good morning. Although Malena has gone through a lot in her life, she is still as beautiful as before. Malena is returning home after shopping when her bag accidentally falls. Renato, who is observing her from a distance, quickly comes to help. It's the first time he has come so close to Malena. They exchange a few words, and Malena starts to say thanks and moves forward slightly. Renato tells her, "Good luck," and Malena looks back, gives him a slight smile, and walks away. Several years pass, and now Renato has grown up. In his voiceover, he tells us that he has dated many women in his life, met many women too, but he still remembers only one face, and that face is Malena's. In reality, Renato never forgot Malena. Malena's story reveals a dirty and disgusting face of our society, showing how our society can stoop to any level to turn a woman into an object of desire. If we want to make our society and world better, we must first respect such women and girls who live alone, who fight in their lives. Only then can we build a better and good society, and every individual needs to start this journey from within themselves. So, this was the complete story of the film Malena. We hope you liked this story.